Hey everybody, it's Scott Steen with winnersandwhiners.com coming to you with the Tuesday edition of Today in Sports Betting, the Baseball Chronicles. Scott, an underdog day on Monday night. Brewers won. They were, I don't know, were they plus 160 or so?
I think they were around like 130.
Exactly. Is that what they finished up at? I think you could have got a better number on that.
I know money poured in on San Diego. I know when we did the show originally, they were around 130. I'm not sure what the closing line was.
Redonkulous.
Probably around 140 something tops. Just to actually pull it up, they ended up closing. Padres closed at around 160. So the Brewers are in the mid 140s.
Yeah. But that was nothing compared to the Rangers over the Angels play that I liked quite a bit. That was, I know that's good, probably paid 210, 205, somewhere around there.
Texas closed at 195.
Okay. So I'm going to make it a habit never to lay 220 behind the Angels. That's just the way that's going to work.
It's fair. Angels might have a winning record to start the season, but we're both not fooled by the Joe Madden episodes with that.
Not fooled. And then, Scott, the Dodgers.
The apocalypse happened. The Dodgers lost the game.
The apocalypse happened. Seattle beat the Dodgers.
Isn't that crazy? Justice Sheffield, wheeling and dealing.
Well, Justice Sheffield beat me in the preseason. He got off to an early start. He beat me in the preseason, the only preseason baseball game I took a pick on. And Justice Sheffield absolutely shut down the Royals. So.
Well, May was terrible early. He settled down late, but they were trailing pretty much the entire game.
Yep. That was Seattle all the way. So let's see if we can cook up some more value here today, Scott. We've kind of got an interesting situation because, as you guys know, Scott and I do radio every day out of Tampa. And we close our show with a segment we call Bet the Farm, where we put our heads together and come up with the best pick of the day. And today, or yesterday rather, it was not good, Scott. It was the St. Louis Washington first 5 under. Nats had really been struggling to score, and the St. Louis Cardinals, they've been having their own issues, and 2 very good starting pitchers with Flaherty and Ross. Joe Ross just absolutely no-showed, Scott. The Nats did their job there. They ended up putting up 5, but they only put up 2 in the first 5. We could live with that if Ross would have been, because he hadn't given up an earned run yet in 2 starts.
I think he'd given up a run, let alone an earned run.
He made up for it tonight. Or last night. It
was the classic situation where the team's seen the pitcher before and they kill him the second time around. And we thought that there'd be a bit of regression, but not 6 runs of regression.
No, he was awful. Just awful. So today, Scott, I think we're going to change horses. I really like the over in that game.
Of course. I that was my favorite play on the card. Could potentially be for Bet the Farm again, but you're looking at this pitching matchup. Wainwright has at least had a moment or 2 where he's looked decent. I can't say the same about Corbin, who has been, I think, no hyperbole, the worst starting pitcher in the league so far this season, with multiple starts. He's got a 20-plus ERA. His ERA at home is 40.5. His whip is 3. I don't know what more you want to fade a guy, but Wainwright's ERA is 7+, so he hasn't been great either, which is why I'm not touching the side, because I do think I wrote an article about it for Winners and Whiners. I like the Cardinals if I had to pick a side, but how do I not love the total here on the over?
It's one of those words. It's like when the Wizards play the Kings, and it's like 238 or whatever. It seems too easy.
Mm-hmm.
It seems the over seems too easy, but. Wainwright, he had one good start. He had a good start sandwich. He's had 2 bad starts.
The good one was against the Brewers, I think.
The good one was against the Brewers and Burns.
That's what I thought.
He beats Burns 3-1. That's the game. I think that's the game where Burns gave up 1 run.
Yeah.
Or maybe he gave up none. The bullpen let him down. Whatever. So yeah, he would look good there. But he still only went 5 innings. He goes 5 innings, gives up 1 earned, still gave up 5 hits, 2 walks. So it wasn't perfect, but he was certainly better than he was in his other ones. But like you said, Scott, Corbin, that's a whole different barrel of monkeys right there. He's made 2 starts. He's only gone 6 and a third innings combined in those 6 and a third. This isn't hide the children for this one, kids. 12 hits, 15 earned runs, 7 walks. So Scott, and 4 home runs, by the way. So just to recap, 6 and a third, 19 guys have reached base. Scott, if I'm not mistaken, that's going to be a whip over 3.
Yeah, it's 3 flat. So it's not a fun time, especially if you are a Nationals fan. I was selling in the rotation during the offseason when we did the previews. I thought Strasburg would get injured. Spoiler alert, he's already on the IL. I didn't think Corbin would be this bad, but I'll tell you that much. Until he actually showed something, I gotta like overs in his games because he'll usually give up 6 within the first 2 innings.
See, and here's the part about these games that you have to like, because if they have a crappy start, then they put in the B team of the bullpen.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of times you'll see the starter give up, like Corbin did. He gave up 6 each time, and the opposition ends up scoring. The Dodgers end up putting up 9, and the Diamondbacks put up 11.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. You bring in those long guys because he doesn't last for very long. So then you bring in those long to mid relievers. Yeah, the guys that probably aren't going to be on the squad towards the end of the season.
No, we both know that hitting is pretty streaky, and St. Louis has not been that great overall at hitting, but I think it's a good spot since they did score 12 runs yesterday. I hope that some of that carries over against one of the, I'd say, worst starting pitchers in the league right now based on current form.
You don't think they tuckered themselves out?
No. Again, I think they're going to wake up in the morning and go, "Oh boy, meatballs," and they're just going to try to feast. But
this is a weird St. Louis team, Scott. In their last
they're either awful or they score a bunch of runs.
Definitely wrecker or checker, man. They've scored 14, 9, and 12. And in the other 3 games, they scored 0, 0, and 2.
I think the Nationals are kind of the same way. Not to the same extreme, but they have a couple of those high moments and then a couple of prolonged lows. But that's why I like the 9, because let's just say that Burns goes 5 innings, 3 runs. Are we sure Wainwright's going to survive?
You say
Not Burns, sorry, Corbin. I always do that now. For it's like chain reaction, sorry. But if Corbin ends up pitching mediocre and goes 5 innings, 3 runs, there's no guarantee Wainwright's not going to get shelled. So.
I think you've got 2 chances to win this game.
Correct. So I really like the over in this game.
I think one of these teams scores 7 runs.
Yeah, I think that's a good call.
Yep, that does, and that should do it for us. So, all right, very groovy. We're off and running there. What else you got for us there, my friend?
Well, my team is back in action, and I don't know if that's a good thing. You got the Braves against the Yankees, 6:35 p.m. Eastern Time. It is, I don't want to say desperate times for the Yankees, but it feels that way. Team's 5-10, worst record in the American League for the first time after 15 games since 1968. Good year, a little bit before my time. But Atlanta has also been kind of underwhelming, and because the Yankees were so bad.
Hang on a second. It was not particularly a good year.
I wouldn't know.
Well, it was the year Martin Luther King got shot. It was the year Bobby Kennedy got shot. It was the year of Chicago riots, and about 15 cities in America burned with riots. So it wasn't a great summer.
But the weather was fantastic.
It was beautiful weather, very springtime.
But yeah, that's about 30 years before my time. But either way, thank you for that segue.
No
but looking at the Yankees, the truth is, if this team wasn't struggling as bad as it was, and the high-profile nature of the Yankees wasn't as high-profile, you probably would get a lot more media pressure on the Braves, because the team is 7-9, and I know that sounds, kind of decent for a team that is going to turn on at some point. But now Acuna's injured, so he's going to be out for a little while. You look at Atlanta, and
I've got him as day to day.
Yeah, I know, but I've heard reports that he's probably going to miss this game and maybe play the Wednesday game.
Where are you hearing those reports?
I have my sources. But point is, he got injured against the Cubs. I think we can both agree that since he's the favorite to win MVP right now, the Braves are probably going to be a little bit cautious with him when it comes to rushing him back, especially since he's the only player on the entire team who's actually been hitting the ball pretty well to start the season.
I think they DH him and keep him out of the field.
Could be. That's also an option, which is the perks of playing in Yankee Stadium in an AL park. But Atlanta, I got to like him in this spot. Now, I know Morton has a lot of history against the Yankees, whether he was with Houston or with Tampa. So the Yankees have seen him before. Mixed results. Meanwhile, you have Tyone pitching for the Yankees, 0-1, 7.56 ERA. I thought he actually looked decent in his last start, but he's still kind of finding his groove back after missing all of last year with Tommy John. But the Yankees are favored once again, minus 121. Atlanta might not be a great team right now, but this team can actually score runs. And there's one thing the Yankees can't do. The Yankees can't hit to save their lives. And if Atlanta scores 4 runs, there's no guarantee the Yankees are getting to 5. So if I had to look at this game and look at where the value is, why are the Yankees favored? They have the worst starting pitcher. They have the worst lineup. What do I exactly like about the Yankees right now?
They're from New York, and people like to bet on them. That's why they're favored.
But I'm saying, I think you'd agree that I don't know why I'd want to lay the number with the Yankees. If I do, I got to wait to hear if Acuna's playing or not.
No. To me, Tyone reminds me of the old joke. Doc, will I be able to play the piano again?
He said, yeah, but not well.
No, he says, yeah, sure, you'll be able to play. That's weird because I wasn't able to play the piano before. That's like Tyone was Tommy John surgery. Doc, am I going to come back and be a great pitcher? Yeah, absolutely. There's no reason you shouldn't be. Oh, that's great because I was a terrible pitcher before.
I actually like Tyone.
I know you did, and I told you no. I said no.
I thought he was good with Pittsburgh,
what?
but then again,
he was fine. But to think he's the kind of guy that's going to step in and be an integral part of the Yankees rotation, no.
No, the issue is that the Yankees tried to put bandages on a torn ACL, and it's just a matter of Kluber and Tyone were not the answer to the problems, and they're going to ride it out.
Yeah, his ceiling is 4.25 ERA. 12, 13 wins.
Sounds about right. But based on current form in this Atlanta lineup, which we know still has a lot of guys who they might be struggling, but they can get hot. And, of course, the same thing can be said about the Yankees. But there's just no passion at all with this team. This team's just going through the motions. Like Atlanta, even though they're struggling, they have moments. They had the game against the Marlins. They came back in the 9th. They've had a couple of bright spots offensively. I don't know what the Yankees have done in the last week that I actually can remember as being positive. So I'll go with Atlanta getting plus money.
Yeah, I think you have to. I just don't see any other way around it. I wouldn't hate you if you want to play the over there either.
I'm going to hesitate on the over because the Yankees really can't hit. This Yankees team's off. This lineup has been a disaster from start to finish the entire season.
Yeah.
I found out a number, by the way, over the last 10 games for the Yankees. DJ LeMahieu is the only batter who's batting above 240 in the last 10 games. No other Yankee besides LeMahieu is batting above 240.
That's ugly.
So I don't want to take the over with the Yankees.
All right. Fair enough. All right, buddy. Anything else?
Well, looking at the rest of the card, I'm just kind of curious, how much money do you think comes in on the Dodgers tomorrow? It's an early start at 4-10. They just lost to the Mariners. They're against Marco Gonzalez, who has an 8+ ERA. How badly do you think sportsbooks are going to root for the Mariners tomorrow?
I think they probably rooted for him a lot last night. I think they're going to root for him again tonight.
I'm saying, do you think more than the average season ticket holder?
Yeah, I've got the Dodgers at what, minus 190?
Yeah, I expect the Dodgers to be in pretty much every single baseball money line parlay tomorrow.
225 by the time that game goes off.
That should be. You get Urias has been good, Gonzalez hasn't, and people are going to say the Dodgers can't lose 2 in a row. It's impossible.
Yeah.
So, that's just how it's going to be. And the Dodgers, I'm sure, whether you follow Twitter handicappers that give out plays with a bunch of juice or you follow parlay bettors, the Dodgers will be everywhere tomorrow. So if you like the Dodgers, I'd get in now because this line should probably keep flying.
Agreed. All right, man. Well, as always, you're looking for any information on these games or any others, there is one stop for you to make, and that is winnersandwhiners.com. The best spot for predictive sports analysis on the internet, free predictions and previews on every single game, every single day. And, of course, we appreciate you guys watching us. We would be kind enough to give us a thumbs up. And, of course, subscribe to our channel if you haven't done so already. Always appreciated. For myself, for Scott Reichel, for all of us over here at Winners and Winers, we appreciate you guys watching today. Wish you nothing but the best of luck. Hope every one of those tickets in your pocket turns into cash money back at the window. Everyone have a great day, and we'll see you tomorrow on Today in Sports Betting. Take care, everybody.